You don't boost your career by asking for more. You boost it by becoming more. Because the market doesn't respond to effort, it responds to value. And value isn't something you say you have. It's something you prove through how you move, how you think, how you show up when no one's watching. Your career doesn't take off when you get lucky. It takes off when your level rises faster than the environment you're in, when your thinking grows beyond your title, when your preparation exceeds your pay, when your reputation begins whispering in rooms you haven't walked into yet. You want to boost your career? Start with ownership. Ownership of your time. Ownership of your habits. Ownership of the results you're getting and not getting. Because if you don't own the outcomes, you'll always blame the system, the boss, the economy, the algorithm. But when you take full responsibility for where you are, you gain full power to change it. You stop waiting for opportunity. You start preparing like it's already on the way. Because opportunity doesn't knock. It listens. It listens for the one who's already sharpening, already producing, already outgrowing every excuse in the book. You want to boost your career? Then you stop blending in. You stop doing just enough. You stop working to survive and start moving like someone who's building legacy inside every task. Yes, even the small ones, especially the small ones, because the person who takes the smallest task seriously will be trusted with the largest. Excellence has a pattern, and that pattern always starts with how you treat what looks insignificant. Then we continue because your next level doesn't need your excuses. It needs your evolution. You want to boost your career? Then raise your standards before you raise your salary. Raise your discipline before you demand recognition. Raise your identity before you update your resume. Because resumes get read, but reputation gets remembered. And reputation isn't built when you're seen. It's built when you stay committed, even when no one's clapping. You want to stand out? Then out-deliver, out-prepare, out-listen, out-communicate, out-solve. Outlast the ones who depend on motivation because you've trained in discipline. This is how careers are boosted, not by waiting for promotion, but by becoming the obvious choice before the position even opens, not by hoping for networking, but by being so valuable people ask where you came from. You boost your career by boosting your capacity, because most people aren't blocked by lack of skill. They're crushed by lack of emotional stamina. They fold under feedback. They avoid pressure. They get offended by correction. But correction is the gym for your growth. Pressure is the forge for your future. And feedback? Feedback is not failure, it's fuel. You want a better title? Then become someone who functions at the next level before they're paid for it. That's the key. Become so excellent, so solution-oriented, so calm in chaos, so obsessed with outcomes that people can't ignore you even if they tried. Then let's go deeper, because boosting your career isn't about climbing a ladder. It's about building a foundation that cannot be shaken. You want to move up? Then master what's beneath you. The details others skip. The tasks they call boring. The conversations they avoid. The preparation they postpone. Because greatness doesn't reveal itself in spotlight. It's forged in invisible excellence. You want to rise? Then stop chasing praise. Start chasing proficiency. Stop aiming to be seen. Start aiming to be so good they whisper your name in the boardroom before your knock ever hits the door. Because power in a career doesn't come from a position. It comes from predictability. Can they count on you? Can you deliver under pressure? Can you think when others react? Can you solve without panicking? Speak with clarity? Move with calm conviction? That's leadership. And leadership isn't a job title. It's how you carry yourself when nobody's watching and everybody's counting on you. You want to boost your career? Then boost your beliefs. Because your skills may open doors, but your beliefs decide whether you walk through them. Beliefs like, I am responsible. I am a solution. I am not here to fit in. I'm here to elevate the entire environment I'm part of. That belief system, it shows in how you speak, in how you listen, in how you execute, in how you treat the janitor and the CEO with equal intensity, because that's the level we're playing at now. No arrogance, just accuracy. You don't show up to impress. You show up to impact. And impact doesn't need introduction. It announces itself. Then we keep rising, because impact is louder than intention, and results speak a language the world always understands. You want to boost your career? Then stop clocking in just to complete tasks. Start clocking in to change the culture. Be the one who brings clarity into chaos. The one who takes initiative before they're asked. The one who doesn't just do what's required, they do what's rare. Because rare gets remembered. Rare gets rewarded. Rare gets raised to new rooms. You want to be rare? Then own your energy. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Start showing up as if every hour is a mirror, reflecting whether you're a leader or a liability. You lead in how you carry the room, in how you protect your standards, in how you speak with purpose, not to impress, but to influence. Because every word is a deposit, and every action is an investment. And your brand, your real brand, isn't your portfolio. It's your presence. What people feel when you walk in. What shifts when you speak up. What improves when you take the lead. You want to boost your career? Then work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because your job won't outgrow your growth. Your paycheck won't outrun your philosophy. And your promotions won't exceed your personal development. So what do? You become obsessed with advancing your value. You master your craft. You master your mind. You master your ability to manage pressure, time, conflict, and direction, all without losing your presence. That's what separates professionals from performers. Professionals play the role. Performers own the responsibility. And you're not here for position. You're here for power through performance. Then we continue, because power through performance is the only kind that lasts. You want to boost your career? Then adapt faster than the world changes. Because the world is shifting daily. And those who wait for instructions, those who need approval, those who freeze at the first sign of uncertainty, they get left behind. But you move with anticipation. You study what others ignore. You learn when others complain. You upgrade when others relax. Because adaptation is the new advantage. And agility is the new intelligence. It's not about knowing everything. It's about learning faster than the game changes. You want to stand out? Then become the most reliable learner in the room. Because careers rise and fall on one thing, your ability to evolve under pressure. You want growth? Then seek friction. Don't avoid the tough projects. Request them. Don't dodge the hard conversations. Initiate them. Don't wait for development plans. Create your own. You are not managed. You are self-directed. And when you live like that, your bosses become partners. Your role becomes a launch pad. Your impact becomes your identity. Because you're not here to just be promoted. You're here to become so complete they can't replace you. Not because you're indispensable, but because you've made yourself impossible to overlook. Not because you beg for a seat, but because you bring the table with you. That's what happens when you build from the inside out. When your value is not what you do, it's who you've become. Then we rise higher into the level where careers stop being jobs and start becoming missions. You want to boost your career? Then you need more than skills. You need a code, a personal standard that governs every move you make, a rhythm so strong that pressure doesn't shake it, it sharpens it. Because people don't follow titles. They follow trust. And trust is built when your name becomes a signal for excellence, a signal for clarity, a signal for it's handled, even before they ask. You want that kind of signal? Then stop waiting to be empowered. Empower yourself. Speak like someone who solves. Execute like someone who owes the world proof of their potential. Move like someone who's already seen the future and knows exactly how to build it brick by brick. You begin showing up differently. Not late, not rushed, not scattered, but precise, prepared, pre-decided. This isn't a season. It's a standard. This isn't about climbing the ladder. It's about outgrowing the rung you're standing on. And when you outgrow your level, opportunity becomes a magnet. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You changed how you prepare. You changed how you think. You changed how you value your presence in every room you walk into. Now you don't wait to be invited. You own the space you enter, not with ego, with earned presence. Because your work speaks, your posture speaks, your focus speaks. And long before they read your results, they've already read your energy. Then we go even deeper into the level where your name no longer represents a person. It represents a standard. You want to boost your career? Then make your name carry weight. Not just a name on a roster, not just a line on a resume, but a name that, when mentioned, commands respect. Why? Because you're the one they count on. The one who delivers early. The one who finds clarity when everyone else brings confusion. The one who leads when others wait to be told. You didn't get that reputation by luck. You built it, hour by hour, standard by standard, decision by decision. You didn't just take the job. You took ownership of every detail connected to your fingerprint. And that ownership, it became your elevation. Because nothing moves a career faster than the one who cares when no one's watching. You care about the meeting prep. You care about the follow-up. You care about the tone, the process, the momentum. Not because you're told to, because you've decided, my signature is on this. That's how you boost a career. You treat everything you touch like it has your last name on it. You move like a founder. You lead like an owner. You execute like everything is riding on your consistency because it is. And the truth is, most people will never live at this level. They'll do just enough. They'll wait for direction. They'll complain about ceilings. But not you. You've already started becoming the ceiling breaker. Not because you're chasing more, but because you've become more. Then let's finish what we started, because careers don't rise by chance, they rise by choice. You want to boost your career? Then choose to become undeniable. Not once, not in bursts, but every single day. Undeniable in your preparation. Undeniable in your presence. Undeniable in your performance. So that the gap between you and the rest becomes so wide, they stop comparing. You don't chase opportunities. You attract them through alignment. Because success is never about who's the loudest. It's about who's the most consistent. You show up before you're asked. You lead before you're paid. You build solutions before problems even surface. You live like the job you want is watching everything you do right now. Because it is. Your next position is being built by how you handle the one you're in. And your future influence is being shaped by how well you lead today, even in silence. So you lead. You refine. You elevate everything you touch. Because when you do, you don't just boost your career. You build a reputation. So rooted in excellence that the world can't help but rise around you. Not because you asked, but because you earned it. Not because they gave it, but because you became it. It starts in silence. No fanfare. No crowds. No light show. Just you, standing in front of a life that no longer fits, and a future that refuses to wait. And in that moment, you're offered a choice. Remain and slowly die in the comfort of mediocrity, or rise and start building the version of yourself you were always meant to be. That's where change begins. Not with noise, not with applause, but with a quiet decision that says, I will not live one more year like the last. Because the truth is, your life doesn't improve by accident. It improves by intention. And if you want dramatic change, not surface level, not feel good, not temporary, you have to go deep. Deep into your patterns, deep into your disciplines, deep into the things you've allowed to define you, limit you, weaken you. Change is violent. It's disruptive. It will tear apart everything that isn't rooted in truth. But it will also rebuild you. Stronger, sharper, cleaner, more you than you've ever been. And it begins with the mind. Because until your mindset shifts, your life can't. You can buy the course, read the book, get the mentor. But if your mind is still programmed for survival instead of creation, you'll sabotage every blessing you touch. Your thoughts are the thermostat of your reality. And if you don't change the setting, you'll keep walking in circles, burning calories, but never building destiny. So upgrade your thinking, audit your language, kill every phrase that begins with I can't or I don't know how. Because you were not born confused. You were conditioned into confusion. Strip it back. You're not lost. You're just surrounded by noise. You're not broken. You're buried beneath habits that don't match your future. And the moment you see that, really see it, you gain back power. The power to decide differently. To stand in the same room with the same job, with the same responsibilities, but choose to no longer show up as the same person. That's real change. It's not the external shifts that matter first. It's the internal stance that says, from now on, I choose who I become. Because the version of you who complains, the version who scrolls, who waits, who delays, who blames, that version doesn't get to live the life you dream about at night. Only the upgraded you gets access to the upgraded life. And to become that, you need clarity. Because you can't change what you won't confront. So confront it all. The lies, the patterns, the excuses wrapped in logic, the people who drain you, the routines that numb you, the environment that keeps you average. Radical change requires radical clarity. And clarity will hurt before it heals. But once you see clearly, you begin to move with conviction instead of confusion. You stop asking for direction because now you are the compass. You stop bouncing between ideas because now you build direction into your days. You stop saying, I'll try, and you start declaring, I will, because your words aren't just sound. They are seeds. And if you're speaking mediocrity into your life every day, don't be shocked when your life reflects it. Upgrade your language. Speak with precision. Speak like someone who owns their power. Speak like your future is listening because it is. And while the world throws distractions at your feet like candy, you remain undistracted because you finally understand. Focus is wealth. Discipline is freedom. And boredom is a blessing to the builder. You don't need more dopamine. You need more direction. And with that direction comes purpose. Purpose doesn't arrive with trumpets. It comes when you stop trying to chase passion and start doing what must be done. You won't feel fireworks every day. You won't always be excited, but you'll wake up with meaning. And meaning is fuel that hype could never give you. Meaning makes you show up when it's dark. Meaning makes you train when it hurts. Meaning makes you impossible to kill because now you're not just existing, you're executing. And from that execution comes identity. From identity comes legacy. And from legacy comes the life you were always meant to live. But it begins in silence, with a decision, with a vow that from this moment on, you will not live another year asleep. You will build. You will evolve. You will improve dramatically, daily, and non-negotiably. Then we continue deeper into the fire because dramatic improvement doesn't ask for your interest. It demands your identity. And identity is built in decisions, in discomfort, in doing the hard things repeatedly until they become who you are. You want to change your life? Get serious about discipline, not just motivation, not just when I feel like it, but the kind of discipline that turns effort into instinct. You wake up and move, no debate. You execute your plan, no emotion. You say no, not with guilt, but with gratitude. Because every no to distraction is a yes to destiny. Discipline isn't punishment. It's liberation. It frees you from regret. It frees you from shame. It frees you from being the person who talks about change, but never becomes it. And when you move from discipline, you enter a different space. A space where your results compound. A space where momentum becomes your default. A space where you don't have to force confidence, because confidence is now a consequence of your consistency. But it doesn't stop there. Because once you move in discipline, you must take ruthless action. You've planned enough. You've journaled enough. You've listened to the podcasts, read the books, studied the strategies. Now it's time to move. Action is the only translator between your ideas and your new reality. And until you move your feet, nothing changes. So move imperfectly, urgently, boldly, before you're ready, before you're certain, before it's comfortable. Because movement is magic. It creates clarity. It reveals blind spots. It exposes lies you didn't know you were living by. And every action is a vote for your future. So act like it. You're not just writing emails. You're building empires. You're not just working out. You're forging identity. You're not just saying no to distractions. You're saying yes to the life that's waiting on the other side of them. Every move matters. Every hour compounds. Every moment of alignment is a deposit into a future that will be unrecognizable to the you who once hesitated. And when you start stacking action on action, something else wakes up. Gratitude. Not the fluffy kind. Not the performative kind. The kind that grounds you. That silences entitlement. That reminds you how far you've already come. Because nothing improves your life faster than being grateful for what you already have, while still demanding more from yourself. You don't settle. You honor. You honor the lessons. You honor the process. You honor the pain that shaped you. And when you walk in that gratitude, you become immune to lack. You're no longer chasing success from desperation. You're building from overflow. That's when power flows. Not from fear, but from foundation. You're rooted now. Rooted in mindset. Rooted in clarity. Rooted in action. Rooted in purpose. Rooted in gratitude. And now you rise. But rising demands something else. Adaptability. Because life won't wait for you to be ready. It will test you. It will stretch you. It will change the rules just when you thought you had them figured out. But you won't panic. You'll pivot. You'll adjust the method, never the mission. You'll bend, but you won't break. You'll evolve without explanation. Because improvement is not linear. It's not clean. It's not pretty. It's messy. It's raw. It's a full contact sport with the unknown. But you've trained for this. You're no longer reactive. You're responsive. You don't resist reality, you reshape it. You meet chaos with clarity. You meet uncertainty with strategy. You meet change with fire in your chest and say, I was built for this, because you were. And now you're proving it not with promises, but with progress. Then we go further into the edge where average gets scared and greatness begins. Because after adaptability comes the core that holds it all together. Resilience. The ability to be dropped, doubted, disappointed, and still rise. To be underestimated and still deliver. To be broken but not bitter. Shaken but not shattered. Cut but still moving forward. Resilience is what happens when pain meets purpose. When pressure doesn't push you down, it pushes you deeper, deeper into your strength, deeper into your standards, deeper into your reason why. And when the world sees collapse, you see a challenge. You see the chance to rebuild stronger, to return smarter, to restart with more fire than before. Because while others quit, you recommit. You don't fold. You fortify. You don't run. You reset your stance. Because your resilience isn't negotiable anymore. It's part of who you are. And now that you've endured, you've earned something no book, no seminar, no speech could ever give you. Self-respect. The kind that doesn't beg. The kind that doesn't explain. The kind that stands in front of the mirror and says, I walked through fire. I lost things I loved. I rebuilt with bare hands. And I didn't stop. That is how you improve your life dramatically. Not by adding more fluff, but by subtracting every lie that told you couldn't do it. Every story that said you needed to be rescued. Every belief that kept you waiting. You don't wait anymore. You learn. And learning is not passive. It's not academic. It's not about collecting more information. It's about implementation. It's about integration. It's about turning pain into principle and failure into framework. Because the best teacher isn't comfort, it's consequence. And you've learned more from your setbacks than you ever did from your wins. You've learned how to stand, how to breathe through chaos, how to sharpen your sword without anyone seeing. You've learned that growth is not an event. It's a grind. It's what you do when no one believes in you. It's what you build when everyone walks away. It's what you become when all you've got is vision and fire. But that's enough. Because now, you don't need the world to believe in you. You've learned to believe in yourself. And belief, true, tested, bloody belief, is the soil from which transformation explodes. You want to improve your life dramatically? Then believe like your life depends on it. Because it does. Then we continue to the part most people avoid, but where the deepest shift begins. Forgiveness. Not the soft kind. Not the spiritual bypass. Not the let it go they preach without ever feeling the weight. Real forgiveness. The kind that liberates your future. Because you can't improve your life dramatically if you're still chained to the wounds of your past. You can't evolve if you're dragging dead weight through every new door. You can't build fire on top of ashes you refuse to sweep. So forgive. Not for them, for you. Forgive the people who should have protected you. Forgive the friends who betrayed your trust. Forgive the moments where you should have spoken up, acted faster, believed harder. Not because it was okay, but because you're done letting it own you. Because as long as you're bitter, you're bound. And as long as you're bound, you're not building. Let it go not with weakness, but with warrior strength. Let it go with fire. Let it go with authority. Let it go like someone who finally understands. My life is too valuable to be held hostage by what hurt me. And as you release it, you make room for real power. Not the kind that performs, the kind that radiates. You become lighter, not softer, stronger, because now your power isn't a mask, it's a mirror. You've faced the pain. You've met yourself in your darkest hour. You've bled, burned, rebuilt, and you didn't break. That is power. That is freedom. That is the soil where real, unstoppable, irreversible transformation takes root. And once you plant there, your life cannot remain the same. You no longer walk, you march. You no longer work, you create. You no longer react. You respond with intention, precision, and presence. Because presence is your final weapon. Presence is how you reclaim every moment that was stolen by fear. Presence is how you make peace with the process. Presence is how you move fully awake into a life most people only dream of. No more autopilot. No more floating. No more pretending tomorrow will fix what you're afraid to face today. Now is the moment. This second, this breath, this choice, And when you stack one present decision on top of another, you don't just improve your life, you rebuild it from the roots up, not someday, not eventually, dramatically, deliberately, and permanently. Then let us finish this not with silence, but with a storm. Because you've come too far to stop at better, too far to stop at improved, too far to stop at almost. You're not here to slightly upgrade your life. You're here to completely transcend it. You're not here to adjust. You're here to awaken. And awakening doesn't ask for comfort. It asks for conviction. It demands that you burn the blueprint of who they told you to be and build what you were born to become, to stand where the old you would have folded, to fight where the old you would have fled, to rise where the old you would have rested. Because now you don't need proof. You are the proof. Proof that it can be done. That growth is not a gimmick. That evolution is not for the lucky, it's for the decided. And you have decided. You have declared. You have rebuilt from broken. You have trained in silence. You have sharpened in solitude. You have traded comfort for clarity, validation for vision, approval for purpose. And now you walk like someone who's already arrived. You speak like someone who's already paid the price. You build like someone who knows no one's coming to save you and no one needs to, because you become the person who saves themselves. And when that version of you wakes up, life doesn't just change. It explodes with power, with peace, with purpose so loud the world has no choice but to listen. You don't just improve. You transform. You don't just survive. You lead. You don't just heal. You ignite. And from this moment forward, your life is no longer a reaction. It is a revolution, built from belief, sustained by discipline, fueled by fire, and driven by a decision no one can reverse. You have changed. You will never go back. And you are just getting started. This is how you dramatically improve your life. And this is how you make it unrecognizable.